This is the final UTR match in my first season. My opponent and I will be fighting for the #1 spot in this match to take home the prize of bragging rights.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and some cash. Currently, I am 2-1. I won my first match in an extremely tough 3 sets. I then had a very humbling loss that somehow went viral, and I won my third match by coming back after losing the first 8 games. This time, I faced my toughest challenge yet, Kyle, who was undefeated in our Flex League, beating the opponents I beat in straight sets. His UTR was estimated to be about 10 before this season. Kyle has previously played on Berkeley's club team and has had a peak UTR of 11. So buckle up guys, this is going to be a great match. Winning this match will definitely be a right direction in my journey. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys do, please do leave a like, comment if you guys have any feedback, and most importantly, hit that sub button and join me on my journey to UTR 10.
There, and I'll hide.
Okay.
They're gonna boss.
We're playing against Kyle today. We're playing against Kyle today, and like I said in my previous video, he's going to be our toughest opponent yet on paper. He's beaten like UTR 10s, 9s before in straight sets, and this is going to be definitely a tough challenge for me. Don't expect to win, to be honest, which is not a good mindset, but I'm excited to play. Last match of the Flex League. Let's get to it. I'll see you guys in the match. Wow, that's super insightful, Kevin. As you guys could tell, I was a bit intimidated by this guy's resume, but honestly, I thought I could win, and I wanted to prove myself in this one. But you know, I have to play some pretty good tennis in order to do well. We go up in our service game 40 love pretty early, and we're thinking, okay, this is going to be a great hold. But he just starts hitting some crazy angles, putting me on the move, and I get a little bit shaky in this first game. So we do make a couple of unforced errors and we drop our first game. Kyle was putting a lot of pressure on in some points, and I was trying really hard just to get my shots deeper so he can't take advantage of them. But I guess I wasn't really feeling my shots yet at this point. And to be honest, I think this entire match, my shots did feel a little bit off. And partially it's because I am trying new strings out. So I am trying confidential, and I previously used 4G. This is my first time playing with these strings, so not the smartest idea to play with new strings in a match, but I just wanted to have some fun with it. So yeah, we are down a pretty early break, and we do have some ways to crawl back. Alrighty, so it is love 2. My strategy at this moment is just to test Kyle's forehand side a little bit. I noticed from warm-ups and these first couple of games that his backhand is quite strong. His forehand is also powerful, but you guys probably noticed he has a pretty interesting takeback. He gets a lot of pop on it still, and it is quite effective, but he has been making a lot more errors on his forehand side, and I didn't notice this while we played, but watching back on the recording, it seems to be due to the ball dropping too much. Now, a quick note, it's quite cold outside. The balls we are playing with are not that fluffy, so that typically means the ball bounce is going to be a lot lower than normal. But yeah, so for me, it's also not ideal. I have a pretty extreme forehand grip. I get a lot of comments on that as well. So when the ball bounces lower, I have a tiny bit more trouble versus when the ball is a little bit higher. When Kyle steps in and he, gives me a very heavy shot, it's very hard to deal with because his balls come in pretty low. Yeah, so definitely having a little bit more trouble. Okay, so right now I am making a couple of adjustments in my head. I'm really just trying my best to move him around so he doesn't just take over the point. A bit easier said than done because his balls are really heavy, but I am getting more of a feel for the ball and I'm able to move him around a bit more, take the aggressive route and win some points off that. So we are able to take advantage of the break point at 30-40 and we are back in business, so it is 2-all. And I started to notice pretty quickly that he is also a little bit nervy in this match. He has been missing quite a bit of balls in neutral rallies, so I feel like as long as I don't give him a super easy shot for him to just blast away, I'm pretty confident about winning a ground stroke rally against him. It seems like he is still getting warmed up, and once he's fully warm and his feet are moving well, this is going to be a lot tougher for me. Alright, that's my quota for 1 smart shot per match. We're back to grinding from the baseline now. So that service game right there was definitely a battle. So we did have to save a break point, and now we take the lead. It is 3-2. Kyle is still doing a really good job of stepping in, getting a lot of pace on his balls, and it's causing me to be on the back foot in a lot of these points, which is somewhere I don't want to be. I am trying to push back, get more depth on my shots, hopefully pressure him back a little bit, but my timing is not really great right now. On my forehand side especially, I am catching everything late, which if I try to swing out from that position, I usually end up hitting long. So my option is just to shorten my swing, get the ball back in the court, and honestly, I think my defense has been pretty good this match so far. I don't want to continue to be on the defense this entire match because for one, it's mentally stressful and physically it's going to wear me down more as I'm the one who's constantly moving around just to get the ball back. So going to try to play a little bit more aggressive, but honestly, it's going to be a little bit hard because I have to get used to his pace first, and yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So I've been stepping up on his second serve a little bit more, trying to get the ball deep to give myself a better position in the point. I get a little bit frustrated on that return because I thought it was set up super well for me, but I was just one step away. I am happy with the way I played this next point. If you guys have seen my previous videos, I have a habit of moving back after an approach shot, and I don't do that in this point, so I'm happy about that. So we managed to break him. We are up 5-3, and we just have to hold our serve to win the set. So at this very moment, I felt a very sharp pain in my stomach. So I just took my time, try not to think about it too much in this game, because we really wanted to hold this service game. We have an opportunity to win the first set, so I really wanted to capitalize on it. If I get broken here, that would be pretty devastating. So just trying to push through, ignoring the pain in my stomach, and yeah, let's see how we do. Okay, so low-key, I think I might have played better in that game, even though I felt like my stomach was digesting rocks. We get a little bit lucky at the end. Kyle misses the put away. Maybe the ball was covered by the light, but really good to take the first set. Definitely feel some pressure off my shoulders, but still we have to lock in. This guy is just playing better and better every game, so we have to step our game up as well. He's still putting a lot of pressure on. He hasn't shied away, just trying to avoid a backhand to backhand rally. His backhand is very powerful, it's super heavy, so my goal right now is still just to target his forehand side, and I think we are moving really well, and by that I just mean we are moving pretty fast. We're just getting to everything, having to make him play for every point. So maybe it's because I haven't hit legs in a month, so feeling pretty light for once. But you know, running these balls down eventually will take its toll on me, so we'll have to change up my game sometime. So that looked pretty bad from my side. So there is one part of the court that is super slippery on the ad side near where you stand to return. I asked if he wanted to play a let or just take a minute to sit out, but he said it's fine, so he was okay to keep playing. But thankfully he didn't really hurt anything. He seemed a bit rattled in the next 2 points, understandably since he did take a fall, but we do hold our serve and it is 1-all. So pretty much the same old stuff in this game. He's doing a good job of moving me around and playing aggressively, but I'm just, you know, keeping my defense up, making him earn every point. What's been giving me a hard time has been his shorter angles. I feel like I'm handling the deeper shots quite well, but I'm not moving forward enough on the shorter balls to get a good shot off. So when he gives me a short ball, I have to pop the ball up to him, and he's kind of able to take advantage of that. He is making quite a few unforced errors, so I am able to win a couple points just like that, but we are still just each holding our serve, and it's never really easy to break a serve. His first serve is pretty solid. His second serve is easier to deal with for sure, and honestly I should be doing more with my returns, but still I feel like I'm having success by just getting the ball back and deep because I have been winning a lot of these rallies. So definitely would like to break, but it's not going to be easy. It's a pretty well executed point by Kyle there. He's doing a good job of keeping the ball away from the middle, and me on the other hand, I'm having a lot of trouble getting the ball away from the middle, mostly because I am on the defensive, so I don't really have too many options. So I'm noticing a couple of things on my forehand. One thing is that my shots are landing quite shallow, and part of the reason is because I'm leaning away from my forehands. So I have been trying to move away from being on the back foot and try to move forward as I hit the ball. Against this guy, it's a little bit hard to do because his shots are coming in a bit heavier and harder than normal. So I am trying to work on that, but just try to get into the habit of stepping into my shots a little bit more. So a quick tangent and then we'll get back to the video. I have been getting quite a few comments about my forehand grip every video, and it is pretty extreme. I honestly don't know how it became so Western, so I have thought about playing with a less extreme forehand and changing it. I think there's just so much other stuff that I need to fix in my game before I get to my forehand. Right now, despite that grip, I still think my forehand is my most favorable shot. I definitely feel the most comfortable hitting a forehand versus a backhand. I think a lot of people think it is really hard to generate power with an extreme Western grip, and that's not necessarily true. I don't think it's because of the grip that I'm not able to generate power. power, like I mentioned previously, is probably because I'm just not stepping into my forehand, and plus at my level it doesn't really matter all that much, but I am trying to get better. To be fair, at higher levels you still see some extreme forehands on the Pro Tour. One example is Taylor Fritz. He does have a pretty extreme forehand grip and is also pretty Western. Definitely not trying to compare myself to that guy because he is quite a bit better in a lot of ways, but I think what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's not completely useless. Like, the forehand grip isn't the limiting factor. So yeah, just wanted to go on that quick tangent real quick. So we managed to pull this game back, get it to deuce, and it seems we are both making quite a few unforced errors into the net, but when he does make his shots, they are very effective, like that one right there where he just hits an insane change of direction forehand that I was not expecting. I'm still trying to target his forehand side as much as I can, but you can see he still has a forehand. It's pretty good. He's able to win his service game off of two very good points where he's just able to take control, move me around a lot, and at this point I think I'm just spending way too much energy running these balls down. So my fatigue levels are definitely on the rise, but we are once again still on serve. We just gotta start playing a little bit more aggressive. So I keep saying that I want to play more aggressively, and this entire match, at least for most of it, I am on the defense. Kyle is doing a really good job hitting, you know, some really good shots from the baseline, and I'm doing a good enough job of keeping the ball back to him to the point where he has to constantly hit the same type of shot and go for big angles in order to win a point. I think mentally it's a bit hard for both of us. He feels the pressure to finish the point since I'm being extra consistent, and I do feel some pressure to play a little bit more aggressive. Alright, so we get a pretty lucky miss here. Kyle goes for a finishing forehand, just misses it into the net. This is a very crucial point because if we win this point, we will be serving for the match. He is still moving forward, he's still playing aggressive, but when he comes into the net, I am just able to get a shot low enough where he isn't comfortable to hit a decent volley off it. So we are now up 5-4, and we are now one game away from winning this match. So let's see if we can take this home and get our biggest win yet. So unfortunately, we get a bit tight in a couple of shots there, missing some balls that I really wouldn't normally miss. But, you know, the pressure is on, feeling super tight, the win is very close, and just couldn't do it. So a bit mentally tough to be just 2 points away from winning the entire match and not being able to follow through on it. So yeah, nothing I could really do about it, so just gotta take it 1 point at a time. Going into the next game, I did lose focus for the first 3 points, but just trying to mentally regroup, forget about that last game, and still just trying to take it one step at a time. I feel like if I just play my game, this game should be pretty winnable, so just gotta regroup, focus again, and yeah, let's try to get this set. Yeah, Kyle plays some pretty good tennis, moving me side to side. I just really couldn't keep up the defense. Definitely feeling the fatigue in my legs for sure, so I don't know how long I'm gonna last. But couldn't find any ways to turn the points around, and at this point in the match, I kind of just threw strategy out the window. Just focusing on staying in it mentally and physically, just trying to hit balls well, and yeah. I mean, my tiebreak record is pretty good, so let's bring this set to a tiebreak and win it from there. Okay, well, I guess we don't make it to a tiebreak, sadly. We are going the distance. This guy ran me over in the last couple of points, so if he keeps playing like this, I'm definitely in trouble. So we both agreed to play a full third set, which I may regret at this point because physically, not doing too great, and mentally, definitely not doing great. After not being able to win at 5-4, I think just mentally a little bit distracted at this point. I forgot to mention my stomach again. At this point, it's been ongoing for so long that I'm getting used to it. Not super bothered by it. I don't think it affected my game outside of that one game where I ended up winning. We switched course this time, no longer any slippery parts on the far side, and this set gets pretty interesting, so stay tuned. Alright, so we are back in business. We are off to a very early break in this third set. We just have to hold here, and then I think we are looking pretty good for the set. I think both our games have been going slightly downhill. Obviously, we are both pretty tired. We can't expect the same level of play through, 2 hours of tennis. Yeah, overall, I think this match has been pretty nervy. Both of us have been making quite a few unforced errors. I definitely do not think I played my best tennis, but neither do I think he played his best tennis. But yeah, gonna talk about it a little bit more at the end of the video. So in this game, we get a pretty lucky net cord off that backhand, and yeah, 2-love looking pretty good for us. So coming off the disappointment in the previous set, it is definitely good to get a very early lead, so just looking to keep this up. Honestly, I'm still surprised that I'm able to play at this intensity. I'm still running his shots down, able to get to a lot of the balls, but his offense is pretty darn good, so having to struggle with that a little bit. The points are not getting any shorter, my legs are not feeling any better, and in this game, we do get down a break point at 30-40. And he hits this insane inside-out backhand, And yeah, he breaks back, so we are now 2-all. The momentum is definitely on his side. I could tell by his movement that maybe he is physically getting a little bit tired. He's able to stay pretty loose on these shots, while it looks like I am tightening up a little bit. And my camera dies. I did manage to record the last couple of games of the match, so I'm gonna quickly do a recap of what happened. So for the next 4 games, we each hold our serve, and at 4-all, I managed to break him, but I'd make a big mistake at 5-4 of checking my camera, and this is definitely a big mistake. I was just too distracted after checking my camera. I lost that game, and then the next game, so we are now down 5-6. I started the camera back up on a different phone. In a sense, it was good that I checked on the recording because I was able to see that my camera died. In that moment, I was just so mentally defeated because I was pretty sure that like if my phone died, then I would have lost all my footage. But I guess I wasn't the only one feeling a lot of pressure at this point, just like how I wasn't able to close out the match at 5-4 in both set 2 and 3. Kyle got a little shaky in a couple of points here, and he misses a couple of pretty easy balls, and we managed to win our service game. We tie it up 6-all, and we are in the final stretch of the match. Just one more tiebreak to determine who is the winner of this Flex League. We have come a long way, grinding our way through several matches, and I just need 7 more points to win this entire thing. Let's do it. So I managed to take the tiebreak 7-3. I take home the win and the #1 spot in this Flex season. It was an insanely tough match, definitely have a lot of work ahead of me to do. Was definitely a massive challenge, but I'm happy to close this chapter with a win. Overall, happy with the win, but not entirely satisfied with how I did it and the way I played, but that just means I have a lot to work on going into 2025. I will be making a video on my goals, so stay tuned. I ended this season 3-1. My UTR did fall quite a bit from the start, but that's honestly okay. That's all part of the process. And I do have a lot of work to do before getting to my goal of UTR 10. So thank you guys all for watching up to this point. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and consider subscribing if you guys like this type of content and want to see more from me. And thank you guys for joining me on my tennis journey, but it is far from over. So stay tuned.